When we talk about financial education, we're almost always chasing this one big goal, financial freedom. But what if I told you there's something even more powerful, something called financial confidence? See, it's not really about how much money you have, but what you know you can do. And that, right there, is the real key to building wealth.
So what's the actual difference here? Well, think of financial freedom as just a number in a bank account. It's a target. But financial confidence, that's a skill. It's this deep down certainty that you have the knowledge, the ability to make money no matter what the world throws at you. That's the real goal because it's a part of you. No one can ever take it away.
So, you think a big pile of cash is the answer to all your problems? Okay, what about this number? 70%. This is a pretty shocking statistic, and it tells you everything you need to know about a huge misunderstanding when it comes to wealth.
Yeah, that's right. 70% of lottery winners are broke again within just a few years. How is that even possible? Well, they had the money, sure, but they had zero financial confidence. They didn't have the skills to manage it, to grow it, to understand it. And that just proves it, right? Cash isn't the solution. Knowledge is.
Okay, so today we're going to build that knowledge, that confidence. First, we'll look past this idea of financial freedom and see why confidence is the real prize. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of why most people fail, the psychological traps that hold us back, and then we're diving into the 4 rules to get you there, knowing your investments, using debt the right way, and finally, learning to think and act like the wealthy do.
All right, let's get one thing straight right now. There is no shortage of money in the world. It is literally everywhere. The only thing separating people from it is that only those with the right skills know how to acquire it. That's it. Money is a game, and once you learn the rules, you can absolutely master your financial life.
I mean, think about it. We have more free information at our fingertips than ever before. So why is it that over 90% of the population is still pretty much in the dark financially? Well, it's not about a lack of information. It's all about psychology. The real reason people fail comes down to a couple of major mental roadblocks.
So here they are, the 2 big traps. First, you've got conventional wisdom. All that stuff we're taught about money that's usually just plain wrong. And second, there's our own comfort zone, which tricks us into avoiding the very risks we need to take to actually grow. Let's break these down.
Come on, how many times did you hear this one growing up? I know I didn't. This saying, and a dozen others like it, programs a scarcity mindset into our brains. It teaches you that money is this rare, limited thing that's super hard to get. And when you believe that, you subconsciously stop yourself from even seeing the opportunities that are all around you.
And then there's this big one. What a lie. This creates such a negative feeling about wealth. I mean, if you secretly believe that money is bad, why on earth would your brain ever let you actually acquire any of it? It's time to stop listening to people who are struggling and start learning from the people who've actually figured this game out.
Now that second trap, the comfort zone. Look, real success always requires taking some calculated risks. Think about it. Getting a loan to start a business, that's terrifying. But you have to go through that uncomfortable, risky journey to get to the reward. That fear of failure and sometimes even the fear of success, it keeps people completely paralyzed, stuck right where they are.
So how do we actually break free from all these traps? It all starts right here with our very first rule. And let's be totally clear. You will never get rich long-term just by working for a paycheck. It's not going to happen. You have to start investing. You have to put your money to work for you.
Now, there are tons of places you can invest your money. Your own business, real estate, stocks, you name it. But the single most important #1 investment you will ever make is in yourself, in your brain, your financial education. That knowledge is the foundation that all future wealth is built on.
And the heart of Rule 1 is actually really simple. Never, ever invest in something you do not understand. If you can't explain it to a 5-year-old how it makes money, what the risks are, then just stay away. Your knowledge is what protects you from scams and lets you spot the real home runs.
Okay, on to rule number 2, and this one might sound a little controversial. Use debt wisely. See, most of us are taught that debt is this evil monster to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, debt is one of the most powerful tools for creating wealth. The poor are terrified of it, but the rich, well, they know exactly how to use it to get ahead.
The whole trick is just knowing the difference between good debt and bad debt. It's simple. Bad debt is when you borrow money to buy liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket, like a credit card to buy a giant TV. But good debt, that's when you borrow money to buy assets, things that put money in your pocket, like a loan for a rental property that generates cash flow. It's a powerful weapon, and you've got to learn how to wield it.
And that brings us to our last two rules, which we're going to combine because they're all about mindset and action. Because honestly, having all the knowledge in the world is useless if you don't do anything with it. You have to fundamentally change how you think and then change what you do every single day.
First things first, you have to burn this definition into your brain. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. The entire game of getting wealthy is just this. Spend your life acquiring assets and do everything you can to avoid liabilities. That's it. That's the whole game.
And this gets to the core of Rule 3, think rich, and Rule 4, develop skills. You see, conventional wisdom tells you to play defense. Save your pennies, skip the expensive coffee, plug the leaks. That's a scarcity mindset. The rich, they play offense. They focus on building a bigger money machine. They develop high-income skills so they can earn thousands more. That is how you fund the life you actually want to live. So here's the bottom line. Financial confidence isn't about sitting on a pile of cash. It's about building the skills to generate cash on demand. It's about knowing the rules of the game and playing to win. So forget about pinching pennies for just a minute and think bigger. Ask yourself this one simple question. What high-income skill are you going to develop first?